What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tani Michelle, and I am today going to be talking to you guys about the Virgo new moon happening on the 17th, which is tomorrow, Thursday, give or take a few depending on where you are in the world, as always. So first I'm just going to talk about what this Virgo new moon could possibly bring into our lives in general over the next 2 weeks, and then I'm also going to quickly go over what this could mean for your zodiac sign as well, astrologically speaking. But as always, I would stay and listen to the general part because this is how it's going to be affecting everybody, and it will be affecting your sign in the same way, just in a different area of life, or in a more particular area of life, you could say. So anyways, let's get into it. I know I have a new background going on here, and you will see why very soon. I've missed you guys. I'm so happy to be back, and yeah, I'm gonna shut up. Let's get into it. Okay, so if you don't know, if this is your first time watching a new moon video or watching one of my new moon videos, a new moon is when the sun and the moon align. It is when the moon basically goes in front of the sun, and so the moon and the sun are in the same sign. So new moons are representative of new beginnings, kind of like a clean slate, clean energetic slate in a certain area, a new beginning in a certain area of your life, depending on where you have the new moon happening in your chart. So this new moon in particular is happening at 25 degrees of Virgo. So depending on where you have Virgo in your chart is where this new moon is happening for you. Now, I will say before we go any further, if you are a ritual, spell, witchy ass bitch, then this new moon is so perfect for rituals and spells. I will be doing my spell and ritual over on Patreon with those of you that are Patreon members, and talking about how you can work with this new moon energy based on your own natal chart. So if you're interested in that, then you can get access to that for literally only $5 a month, and you'll get access to a shit ton of other stuff that I do over there on Patreon. So enough of the shameless plug, let's get into it. This new moon is happening in the sign of Virgo, like I said. Now this new moon is a very karmic new moon, so there's kind of a lot of crossroads going on with this new moon because it's the halfway point of eclipse season. So we started eclipse season, this particular eclipse season that we're in, back in June, around June and July of this year. So if some major shit went down in your life around that time, then you may be kind of like reflecting on that around this time, or there may be some changes that have happened around this time to do with something that happened back then in your life. Now the next eclipse season is in December, around December, the end of this year. So we're directly in that halfway point between eclipses. And what that means is the new moon is squaring the north node and the south node, which are very karmic fated points in the sky, the nodes of the moon. And the nodes are in Sagittarius, the south node's in Sagittarius, and the north node is in Gemini. So we've been really learning how to be more adaptable, how to be more open, how to be more communicative, how to find alternatives, how to be more open-minded and get away from old paradigms, old dogmas, old biases, and old kind of ways of thinking that are like old beliefs that are really kind of weighing us down as a collective. With this Virgo new moon squaring the nodes, number one, this is a very kind of karmic moment in your life, a karmic situation, a karmic experience, however you want to put it, a situation in your life where something needs to be adjusted because we're dealing with the sign of Virgo, which is very discerning, very analytical, very much so about fixing things, finding a solution, you know, planning things, being organized and detailed and focusing on the details. So where in your life do you need to be cutting things down or being more frugal or organizing or fixing something? Where can you find a different solution? Okay, find a more practical, pragmatic, earthy, realistic solution that is going to kind of help you adjust where you're going and where you've been from. It's almost like you're at this middle point of like, okay, I completed, you know, something from this summer that happened, and now I need to kind of rearrange something to move ahead to this, you know, this winter, whatever's going to happen this winter, basically. This also could be a choice, a crossroads. Like I was saying before, this new moon is loosely opposite Neptune. So there could be a sense of feeling like we are disappointed, or we can't necessarily see that where we're going, or things are a little cloudy, or we're a little confused, or, you know, we're just a little tired of constantly having to fix things or constantly having to adjust things, you know what I mean? But the more open and adaptable that we are, the more things that we are able to do, the more shit that we're willing to try, even if it's new, even if our past experiences with the South Node in Sag, even if our past experiences, our past beliefs, our past dogmas, our past, you know, whatever, our past conditioning tells us that this isn't going to work. That's not what it's about. It's about trying new things, even if you think it's not going to work. It's about analyzing. It's about paying attention to the details. It's about communicating. It's about being more open, being more adaptable in order to find a solution, in order to find some kind of something to get you through it. Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury, and Mercury's in Libra. So we're very much like compromising here. We're very much like negotiating, compromising, trying to find alternatives, okay? An alternative solution to an issue or whatever it is that you're dealing with right now. This is definitely, though, not about getting stuck in previous experiences, the past, previous biases, because it may be very easy to do that at this time. This is about moving past that. Don't be one of those people that it's like, well, from my previous experiences, or because I don't want to, you know, just don't be stubborn and narrow-minded right now. Like, try to really just keep it simple and be open. You know, that's the best I can tell. That's the best advice I can give with this new moon. Be adaptable, be open-minded. Don't be so closed off because you think that you know better. You think you know some shit. You know what I mean? Mercury is squaring all this shit in Capricorn. It is coming up on a square with Pluto and then Saturn. So the rest of this week after this new moon may be a little bit difficult in terms of finding a compromise, finding the middle ground, because Mercury's in Libra. So we are looking for some harmony, some peace, you know, a middle ground, an agreement, come together, you know, coming together of sorts with something where we can blend two different sides or two different opposites. But with that Mercury square to Saturn and then Mars happening as well and Pluto there, it's kind of going to be like a shit show. I'm not going to lie to you. It's kind of going to be like a shit show. After this Virgo new moon, there may be some hard news, some hard conversations, some difficult conversations, some deals or agreements that kind of are delayed or set back or change on a major level that you didn't see coming, especially with that Mars retrograde. So like I said, this Virgo new moon, it's like we're ready to plant seeds, but we don't see where we're planting them. It's like we're planting seeds in the dark. We can't exactly see where we're going, and we're confused about where to plant these seeds. You know what I mean? We're confused about if these seeds are going to grow or if we're going to have more options. There's going to be more options, though, with that North Node in Gemini. You just have to plant the seeds. And it's kind of like the Fool card in a way, you know, like jumping off that cliff, but this is metaphorically speaking, obviously, but kind of having faith that the universe is kind of going to guide you, which is very hard for Virgo. It's like Virgo wants to know the details, but with Virgo's ruler Mercury making these hard aspects to Saturn and Pluto, it's getting fucking hit, man. Mercury is getting freaking hit. It's kind of hard to do that. It's kind of hard to see everything or to see how it's going to play out, you know? And that can be very hard for Virgo energy to deal with. Virgo wants things like, you know, this, and that. You know, it wants a plan. It wants the details. It doesn't want to just throw itself into the dark, and that's kind of what we're doing here in so many ways. But we are planting new seeds, and I do think that if you're able to be adaptable, if you're able to look for a different kind of solution and consider your options and not just completely give up or whatever, then you're going to be able to deal with whatever comes your way, okay? Because this new moon is trining all of the shit in Capricorn. It's trining Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. So it's saying that if you can plant these seeds you know, and if you can stick to your goals, and if you can look at the details of this situation and try to find a solution and make the plans, then things will be fulfilled. Things will open up. There will be other doors that open. There will be options available for you. You just have to put in the work, is basically what I see with this new moon for everybody, no matter what sign you are. So I do like to talk about the Sabian symbols as always. So the Sabian symbol for this degree of Virgo, where this new moon is happening, is the boy with the censer serving near the priest at the altar. So this is very much about cleansing, purifying, purifying your space. This Sabian symbol is also very metaphorical of kind of like the boy probably is, you know, the boy is serving the priest. So the boy isn't probably, he's a boy. He's not matured into what he's going to become just yet. Maybe he wants to become a priest, you know, or something like that. He is practicing for that. He is preparing for that. He is offering his assistance, his service for that. He is practicing discipline. So once again, I feel like this really goes with what I was just saying about this Virgo new moon. But another way that you could look at this is maybe the boy, you know, doesn't like being the servant or serving, you know what I mean? Maybe he deserves more. Maybe he wants better for himself, or maybe he is not living up to his full potential, but then again, he's a boy, so he needs that experience. So once again, it kind of goes to this halfway point, this crossroads, where it's like, are you living up to your potential? What do you have to do with this Virgo new moon trining Saturn and Pluto? How can you transform yourself, your experience, your maturity? How can you grow from this experience, whatever it is that you're going through, instead of just looking at what you're lacking or what you are not good at, you know, your weaknesses? How can you use these things as your strengths? How can you practice? How can you get better? How can you gain more experience, or how can you use the experience that you already have to grow? Basically is kind of what I get from this particular Sabian symbol. So really quickly, I am going to go through the signs. This is going to be brief. It's not going to be very long. I am just going to give some examples of where this can play out for you, for your particular sign. As always, rising signs will resonate most, so I would definitely watch your rising sign first, and then you can check out your sun and moon sign to see if those resonate as well. Starting with the sign of Virgo. So for Virgo, this is happening in your first house. This is happening in your sign, okay? Especially if you have your sun, ascendant, or moon anywhere from, I would say, 20 degrees Virgo to 29 degrees Virgo, then you're going to be feeling this new moon pretty intensely. This is a new beginning for you. This is a new beginning in how you express yourself, how you communicate, how you the different talents and skills that you have, the crafts that you partake in, how you deal with certain things, your behaviors, your reactions, the kind of personality that you have in your personality traits. This can also be a time, a new beginning for a new health routine, or getting into exercise, or you know, just doing something new with your body, or paying attention to what you eat and how you eat and stuff like that, a new diet, things like that, organizing your life in some kind of way. So it's really going to be about yourself, and also possibly your appearance. You know, maybe you want to do something new with your appearance, or maybe you want to kind of work on how you respond to things, or how you initiate things, or how you communicate in some way. Now, this can also be because your ruling planet is in the second house, you know, of Libra. This can also be very much about your finances and compromising, negotiating with someone over your finances, your resources, where you get your money from and how you make money, working on your skills, your talents, possibly thinking about adapting a new skill or learning a new skill, something along these lines. It could also be a pretty big kind of crossroads, a pretty big choice where you are having to trust a little bit more in options that you can't necessarily see at this moment in time. So moving on to the sign of Libra. Okay, so For Libra, this new moon is happening in your 12th house. So this is all about the things that are hidden from you, some hidden habits that you have, hidden behaviors, hidden patterns that you have. This is really shining a light. Where can you maybe make some new health choices or psychological choices, subconscious habits, like where can you adjust these types of things. This is also about your sleep schedule. So your sleep schedule may need some readjusting, or what you do kind of behind the scenes, or if you are working on something kind of behind the scenes as well. You know, these are about the subconscious habits, beliefs, behaviors, reactions, psychological issues that affect your day-to-day life. You know, are there certain addictions or you know, things that need to be cut out, or things that need to be reorganized or looked at in your life that are going to help you move about your daily life a little bit easier. So yeah, this is definitely a new beginning. This could bring some things to light for you. This could also, with Mercury in your first house, be a big decision that you need to make, or a decision that, you know, involves home, family, people that are like family, people in your personal life. You know, this could be some kind of hard conversation that you need to have, either with yourself or with somebody else. This could also be, you know, some kind of agreement or compromise that you need to come to that is, that's been weighing on you. You know what I mean? So that is what I'm getting for Libra. Moving on to Scorpio. So for Scorpio, this Virgo new moon is happening in your 11th house. So this is basically all about your acquaintances, your social life, your friend groups, networking. This is all about networking, who you network with, how you network, things like that. Okay, so this could be some kind of new beginning, and maybe you're joining some kind of new course or new class or new group, you know, to some extent. This could be also shining a light on certain, you know, with Mercury in your 12th house, certain subconscious relationship patterns that are kind of affecting your life or your social life, some decisions that need to be made here. Definitely, possibly some hard conversations coming up for you guys, Scorpio. Some things that are coming to light that maybe were unknown about you or about someone else. Could even be some secrets over the next week or two that are kind of coming to the surface that you that maybe hold you back in some way or delay something in some way. But this is definitely a social kind of new moon for you guys, where you are kind of going through about to go through this new beginning of kind of self-realization, adjusting kind of maybe your friends or the people that you keep in your life or the people that you keep around you in some way. So that is what I'm seeing for Scorpio. So moving on to Sagittarius. So for Sagittarius, this new moon is happening in your 10th house of career, public image, reputation, your public life, how you kind of present yourself to the world, and authority figures. So this could be some kind of new skill or new area, new position even that you're learning at work, or that you're wanting to go in a new direction with your career, a new kind of thing that you're wanting to pick up when it comes to your career, your public life, you know, your reputation, things like this. You know, maybe you're wanting to work on your reputation, or you're wanting to work on how other people see you. Maybe you're wanting to get into some kind of, you know, health routine or dieting thing, body work, something along those lines when it comes to your career. It's definitely very much where you are kind of looking at, you know, what you value, what's worth it to you, what is important, how can you organize your career, your public life, you know, how can you kind of reorganize things, find some kind of simple solution with this, okay? Now, there may be some tough conversations that happen between, you know, some kind of social aspect with other people, or some kind of agreement that you had with other people that somehow affect your finances, or there could be a situation as well where maybe you're people pleasing, or you are not really speaking up for yourself, or there could be something that's like exaggerated. So I would be careful of that. Be careful of like groups that want your money, or paying a lot of money for some kind of social event or social gathering of sorts. Be careful with that right now. I would not say that that's a very good idea, okay? But this is a good new beginning when it comes to your career and your professional life, okay? So that is what I'm seeing for Sag. Moving on to Capricorn. So for Capricorn, this new moon is happening in your 9th house of belief systems, higher education, philosophy, marketing, publishing. I'm sorry, not marketing, but publishing. Your belief systems, your education, your views on life, your views on the world, all of these kinds of things. So there could be some kind of new beginning, and for you, maybe you're really wanting to, around this time, align some kind of spirituality with health or healing or the body or something along those lines. You're really kind of getting these, this energy is really kind of pushing you to pay attention to maybe how, you can spiritually heal the body, or spiritually heal the mind in some kind of way. You may be also working on some new craft that involves spirituality or involves your beliefs in some kind of way. So that is kind of what I see for you guys. But Mercury is in the 10th house, squaring everything in your sign. So this could be, I would be careful with authority figures for like the next week or so. Capricorn, because this could be some kind of disagreement with an authority figure, or this could be some kind of over-exaggeration of some kind of deal or offering or opportunity, especially to do with career, public image, status, things like that. This could definitely be some kind of exaggeration of that could end up changing in some kind of way. So make sure you're being kind of practical and realistic, and that you are, really looking at all the details of whatever this situation is that you're dealing with for the next couple weeks. So moving on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, this new moon is happening in your 8th house in the sign of Virgo. And so this could definitely be a new beginning or a kind of new energy coming in, kind of like this halfway point of work that maybe you've been doing on yourself, and how you can maybe combine that work with the body, or combine psychology with the body, really getting into deep-rooted stuff or deep-rooted fears and how it may be affecting your body or your work, or the type of work experience, crafts, plans, things that you have. This could be also some kind of new beginning when it comes to loans, debt, other people's money, other people's finances. Maybe you're really trying to organize your debt or organize your finances in some way, pay things off, things that you owe or that other people owe you. Maybe you're trying to really get these kinds of things taken care of. And there could be some things coming up that maybe you didn't realize or that you didn't know about, but that could actually end up working out for you if you pay attention to the details. With Mercury and Libra squaring all that stuff in Capricorn, there may not necessarily be an easy negotiation or an easy compromise with these things. So I would definitely kind of pay attention to that. There could be some kind of like if you are in school or something like that, there could be some kind of delay in something, or something that comes up that you didn't quite know about or you didn't see, something that was kind of hidden from you. Now this could also be really, kind of showing you where you have maybe some of these subconscious belief systems, okay, that have been really holding you back or delaying you moving forward in some way. But this is really about kind of facing, some of these fears, some of these psychological issues. Okay, so moving on from that, we have Pisces. So for Pisces, this Virgo new moon is happening in your 7th house, your opposite sign. Okay, so it is all about relationships, other people, contracts, agreements, commitments, all of that kind of stuff, compromises, stuff like that. So this could be a new beginning in those areas of life for you, Pisces. Now I will say this, with Mercury and Libra in your 8th house, there could be some delays with Mercury squaring Pluto and Saturn later this week. There may be something that seems really good at first, or that is possibly even over exaggerated. So definitely watch your finances, watch any contracts or agreements around this time, because something may end up changing or getting a little bit delayed. Is kind of what I see here. This could also deal with your partner's finances as well. So I would definitely say that too. But yeah, this is really kind of a time where you are kind of maybe starting something new with some kind of relationship, or some kind of work relationship, or some kind of agreement, something financially, some kind of commitment. Where do you maybe need to cut away some of your commitments? Where do you maybe need to reorganize some of your commitments to really make space, to really make things a little bit more realistic and practical, and a little bit more detailed and simple for you, okay, Pisces? So that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Moving on to Aries. So for Aries, this new moon is happening in your 6th house. Okay, all about health, work, daily routine, a lot of similar things as to what Virgo stands for. So, where in your work life, or in your day-to-day life, in your schedules, in your routines with coworkers or clients, or your health, where can you start cutting things down? Where can you start cutting back a little bit? Or where can you start being a little bit more crafty, more strategic in your day-to-day life and routine? Where can you really reorganize some things, you know what I mean, to make it a little bit more simple and find some solutions, or where can you maybe look at some details or communicate a little bit more to find some kind of solution, to change some things around about your schedule, or your diet, or your day-to-day life, that is going to make things a little bit easier on you, or help you find some kind of solution with some kind of issue that you may be facing, okay? Where do you maybe need to, change things up with your diet, or your exercise plan, or your health, or something like that? Are there some kind of doctor's appointments, or some kind of appointments that you need to make regarding, your health, or just your body in general? Okay, these are the kinds of things that are going to come up around this time. Now, you may find that there could be some kind of health thing or work thing that ends up delaying something with a commitment, a relationship, career. There's something here, there's some kind of commitment or career related relationship or commitment that possibly ends up being delayed later on next week with this. So I would just kind of be careful of that, watch out for that. But I do think that you are able to work through it and fix it if you can really simplify and find a solution, like I was talking about before. Okay, so moving on to Taurus. So for Taurus, this new moon is happening in your 5th house. Okay, so this is all about fun, children, pleasure, your creativity, and also love and romance, so and sex as well. So with Virgo there in the 5th house, this could be some kind of new beginning, some kind of craft or creative project, some kind of new creative skill that you're learning, that you're working on, that could be very beneficial, some kind of new body or health thing that you are doing for fun, or exercising or something like that, that maybe you're doing for fun. I don't know, Virgo 5th house. I mean, maybe some people find that fun. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Or maybe some kind of, hobby that you're picking up or that you're learning about. Like, this is all about, your creativity and your crafts and your skills, okay? This could also be about children as well, and bring those themes into children as well. So yeah, I feel like this is a really kind of crafty new moon for you, Taurus. Now, with Mercury, the ruling planet of Virgo, in your 6th house and Libra, there could be some day-to-day commitments, schedules, routines that are kind of, you know, getting in the way of this, or getting delayed, you know, towards next week, or that are maybe changing, or that need to change in some way, shape, or form. So I will say that. But other than that, I feel like for Taurus risings especially, this is going to be maybe a little bit of a better new moon. Not that this new moon is like really necessarily bad anyway, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit lighter for you guys. So for Gemini, this Virgo new moon is happening in your 4th house of your home, your family, your private life, your personal life, your past, your childhood. Very sensitive spot of the chart for Gemini. So with the new moon happening here, this is a new start, or some kind of, you know, new beginning that is coming to fruition to do with those things: your home, your family, your personal life, your past. Definitely. And with the new moon squaring the nodes in your sign, you know, this new moon is squaring your sign, and it's also squaring Sagittarius. So this is kind of like a point, Gemini, where there could be something that needs to be fixed or solved, some kind of solution that needs to be found within the home life or within your personal life, where within your comfort zone, like where you feel comfortable, in order for you to make some kind of decision or make some kind of choice, or really identify what's going on in your life, or what you know, what the issue is, if there is an issue. This could also be a decision or some kind of crossroads, okay, where it's kind of like it could involve your relationships as well, with that South Node in Sagittarius, where you may have to get a little bit more adaptable. You may have to be open to more options, to more to looking at more solutions, more options, trying something new, you know, and not just going based off of your past experiences, like I was saying in the beginning. But with Mercury there in your 5th house, you know, squaring everything in Capricorn in your 8th house, there could be something financial that's coming up around this time, some kind of financial delay, where maybe there was some kind of thing, something that you wanted, or something that you were doing for pleasure, or some kind of relationship or romance, and there's something financial going on here, either with their finances or your finances. So that could be some themes that are coming up around this time as well, with your ruling planet and the ruling planet of this new moon, Mercury in Libra. Okay, so very much about kind of compromise, but where are you maybe compromising too much, Gemini? Where are you maybe compromising for other people, or people pleasing too much? Okay, where do you maybe need to find a solution, a more practical solution that allows you to be more open to you and what you want and who you are? Okay, so that's kind of some things that I see that could be coming up for Geminis around this new moon. So moving on to Cancer. So for Cancer, this new moon is happening in your 3rd house. So this is all about communication. This is all about, you know, your skill set, your community, your environment, you know, your location, the people that you hang around, all of this kind of stuff. So for Cancer, this is also about transportation. So, you know, this could be some transportation stuff that comes up. Maybe there's a car that needs to be fixed, or, you know, something that needs to be fixed around this time, or some technical issues, or some kind of technology device that needs to be fixed around this time, at the home, or something outside even that needs to be fixed outside your home or around your home in some way. Now, this could also be, you know, some kind of conversation that you need to have, or some kind of solution that you need to have. You could feel kind of busy around this time, getting a lot of, you know, emails or messages, or, you know, where do you maybe need to change your schedules? You know what I mean? Where do you maybe need to adjust some kind of schedule, or some kind of plans that you had, or, you know, maybe you're learning a new skill. These are the different things that can come up around this time. But Mercury is in your 4th house, so there's kind of like a lot of possible, you know, compromising going on in the home, or also with relationships, okay? Agreements, commitments, relationships, Throughout the next week or two, you could experience some delays or setbacks with communication and negotiation and compromise within relationships, or harmony within relationships and within the home life. So I would definitely kind of watch out for that. I would definitely not overexert yourself or, you know, give too much around this time, Cancer, to other people, or, you know, kind of keep the peace too much to where you're not voicing your own opinions or what you really think about a situation. This could also be something that needs your attention, you know, something that needs your attention regarding your health or your day-to-day life, you know, or your psychological, like mental health, you know what I mean? Something that you may need to do for your mental health, something that maybe you need to communicate with someone or make some kind of appointment or schedule some kind of thing, you know? So that is what I'm getting for Cancer. And last but not least, we have Leo. So my fellow Leos, especially Leo risings, I'm a Leo rising. So this Virgo new moon is happening in your second house. Okay, so basically this is all about your own money, your own income, your own resources, your own finances, not any kind of help that you get from other people or other companies or other institutions or the government or whatever. This is about your own shit. Your own shit. So where do you need to adjust some things? Where do you need to reorganize some things? You know, if you have certain possessions or, you know, whatever that maybe it's time to get rid of, you know, maybe it's time to clean some things out. Maybe it's time to cut back on how you spend or really start making a budget plan or something along those lines. This is definitely about your finances. You know, that Pisces full moon that we had 2 weeks ago was about other people's money or maybe things that you owed or, you know, other people's finances. But this new moon is about your own money, your own possessions, your own resources, what you make. So how can you get crafty? How can you get crafty and finding some other way to maybe make money, or possibly doing some kind of budget plan for your money, or saving money, being a little bit more frugal with your money, or cutting down on some things. Okay, so I think that's really what this new moon is going to be about for my Leos out there. So yeah, that is basically what I'm getting for everybody, for all 12 signs. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my other videos. I really appreciate it. If you need to know anything else about me, just check the description below. And yeah, love you. Bye.